So it's back in my hotel here in Nahariya after a very long day. I will admit that it's weird to be in a place like Kibbutz Matsuva, up in the north. You're 1.2 miles from the border of Lebanon, when everyone is telling you they expect some level of the war to come here. They expect things to explode. I have had some very, very focused conversations with people about whether or not they'll actually get that support. We understand that we're supportive of democracies, we're supportive of free and thinking people who want other people to be free and thinking, and we're not supportive of terrorists. We've never been supportive of terrorists. We're not about to be supportive of terrorists. Hamas is a terrorist organization. Hezbollah is a terrorist organization. These organizations are supported by Iran, which is in and of itself a terrorist organization. We're not going to support these things. And we're stunned by what we see on college campuses, stunned what we see by elected officials and others in culture. But my argument was, I don't know if I would trust the Biden administration to really be there if everything hit the fan, and Israel, I think, should prepare for this. And I think there's an extent to which Israel does. Just like when we talk about NATO nations, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, and how the Biden administration wants to take credit for, look at how we've rallied everybody together. No, they saw under Biden leadership, Russia invade Ukraine, and they said, my God, this guy won't be here to help us. So they started actually spending money and building themselves up. They organized themselves, and Joe Biden just happened to wander into a meeting. That's what happened. And what has happened here is that a terrorist attack from Hamas that murdered 1,300 has galvanized the country. This is one of the great takeaways. This talk of, Israelis are really united. Oh, yes, they are. Completely, fully united in taking out Hamas. Now, there are differences, as we've discussed, about do you pay for the hostages? Do you get the hostages back? Do you accept the fact that you don't negotiate with terrorists? There is a struggle there going on. But the idea that Hamas has to be eliminated, we've had enough. There doesn't seem to be anything that says that Israel isn't going down that road. Now, I've heard things from people off the record sources that Hamas has just been devastated by the Israeli military. We're talking devastated. We're talking about they have less than a handful of battalions left, that we could already be at the beginning of the end stage for Hamas, which doesn't bode well for the hostages at all. Or maybe that's some last-ditch effort to stay in power by releasing the hostages and working out some kind of deal. But I haven't gotten the feel here that anybody thinks that a deal is going to be a deal. Hamas has to go. Our problems are multifold. And when I say our problems, of course they are our problems. I've been saying this from the beginning. If you think that what is happening in Israel is just about Israel, with all due respect, you're not paying attention to the whole game. It's searching for Bobby Fischer. You got to look at the whole board. Don't move until you see it. What is happening in Israel, that is the objective of Iran to the United States. A terrorist attack, instill fear, bring destruction, try and bring them down. Now, there are many who believe that Iran and Hezbollah, Hamas, have been taken by surprise. Not that Israel reacted, but that the outcry from the world community to keep them in line didn't work. There's something very important and very telling in that story. Let me go back to this day today in the north, and this time I spent in Akko, A-K-K-O, which is one of the oldest cities in the world, and the Crusaders, the heritage there. And we walked through this hotel that is just gorgeous. It had a total of 12 rooms. 12 rooms, and the architecture and the art and the ceilings and the view. The view from the rooftop where you could, yes, smoke cigars. Spectacular and empty. Spoke to a guy who owns a butcher shop. He's the second generation. His son is the third generation. The business just isn't there. Now, it's a little bit better for him because people still have to eat, but the business isn't there. The tourists aren't there because Akko is in a spot that is too far north for some people to go. Oh, sure, they'll go to Tel Aviv, this international city, this metropolis of a place, but going to a place like Akko is different. While there is still tremendous beauty throughout Israel and some beautiful people, and this trip has been amazing, they are so far from being out of the woods, it is hard to describe. The economic reality is going to be with Israel, I think, for years on the small business side and on the tourism side. But they are not out of the woods. And my time so far in northern Israel proves that. Absolutely proves that. They're expecting another front. They're expecting another attack. For Israel, this war is not just about over, even though Hamas might be on its last legs. This war is just beginning. And very much, this could be just like 1948. And this is for independence. I will have more videos coming from Israel. Make sure you're following everything I do over at TonyKatz.com. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you liking the videos and sharing the videos. More to come.